Welcome back to the Virgo channel. We got a little power outage there for a second. I wonder how that's going to tie into the reading. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Never force anything. Take what you need, leave the rest. Also know if you're new to the channel, I like to go deep within my readings. So I like to look at everything. We look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes to help you be able to see your situation from a different perception, which a lot of times is healing all in itself. But you'll be able to incorporate different habits and behaviorisms and to deal with your situation. That changes the dynamic of the relationship. So if a relationship can actually be shape shift the better, you'll be able to figure out how to do that by doing something different, or you raise your vibration automatically, and that person that's on the lower vibration eventually you just don't have that connection anymore because you're attracting new energy, better energy that's more in alignment with what you really want today, not more in alignment with the traumas of yesterday. Okay, now, like I said, if you want to enter into winning free reading with me, or maybe I didn't say it, but if I did say it, I'm sorry. But if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you gotta like the video, subscribe to the channel, obviously be open to getting a shadow reading, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. All right. Let's see, let's see. Okay, anxiety, worry, anxiety. So maybe that's what the Grinch is all about, right? When we go into fight, flight, or freeze, I feel like it tends to, we get overstimulated and we kind of like freeze and we lose track of time. We lose track of everything. We forget if we're in a place of anxiety and worry, we're not present. So I feel as if you're in separation from someone that knows that they should have came back a long time ago. And I just feel like one thing happened after another, after another, after another, and they haven't been able to come back. Like at first it was a little bit of pride and ego, like, oh, who do you think you are to make me come to you? Like, get over yourself. And they were being a little toxic. At first, they got triggered and thought you were toxic. And then by the time that they figured out that they misread that, it was like too late for them to actually come back and apologize. And I feel like they just thought eventually you wouldn't be mad. Like most of the time, people don't hold grudges. It's like I might be an asshole to you, but no knows that it means anything. It doesn't mean anything. The issue is it did mean something to you, and I feel like you expect to be treated a certain way, and for whatever reason, this triggered your person. It was almost like you were trying to elevate yourself, like you were trying to make it known like who you are, so this person deliberately like was like, oh well, I'm not going to give you that. I don't like it, triggered them, and I don't know why, but like I said, I feel like they're seeing things a lot differently now, and time has gone by, so much time has gone by. You have not reached out to them. They see that you're not going to. They have a lot of anxiety. I feel like I said, like there's been one thing after another, after another, after another that's happened with this person. So they might have been in a connection at one point. That connection didn't work out. I feel like their living situation has changed. I feel like their job is in the middle of a transition. I feel like if they had children, something happened to their children, like just maybe God forbid, got sick or had major problems in school, like where they again couldn't really be there because they had to be there for their children. it's been like one thing after another, after another, after another. And it's almost like you kept getting on the back burner. And so like, but I feel like part of that too was a little bit of procrastination. Like, I don't want to cave to you. This person, if you see them, they will never admit that, but it's true. They will focus on everything else that was going on. Um, but I feel like, again, this person did certain things in the relationship that made the relationship rocky, where you had to lay a boundary down. Like, meaning, like, you need to treat me a certain way. And this person was adamant about not doing it. Like, you're not going to tell me, like, how to be, or who to talk to, who not to talk to, how to talk to you, how not to talk to you, or how to think, how to feel. And this person, I feel like, grew up in an environment where like they had a parent continually judge them. And so this person can't like take constructive criticism. They can't have a conversation without hearing it through the filter of feeling like inadequate, like you're judging me. Like it's a trigger. And I feel like they projected their insecurity onto you, trying to make you insecure. That's what I feel. And so they're seeing everything different now. And so again, ignored. It's like this person wanted you to like kind of chase after them. And I don't feel like you chase after them, though I don't really feel like you ignored them. I feel like they ignored you. And they ignored you because they were like, no, I am going to make you feel less than, so you give me more. So that, so that you have to become subservient to me, like I up to my comfort level, to like you're trying to tell me how to act, when meanwhile, like I said, they were like ignoring you. They were deliberately like, like shouldn't have gotten triggered by what you were asking them to do. You shouldn't have even had to ask them to treat you with respect, kindness. Like this person always wanted to elevate themselves. So it would be like the words that they used and the way that they would talk to you and the way that they would, wait possibly to text you back. Like there was always like, they never let you get comfortable. Again, and it kept you lonely because you obviously were ignored. You're like, I don't like it. Like, I'm holding on to what? You're not giving me anything. Like, you're trying to keep me like locked in, but it's like you're not. It's again because of trauma. Like, this person has unresolved trauma, but for whatever reason, I kind of feel like this person tends to like seek out people that they feel have been traumatized. So those people that haven't done any healing, obviously, would not recognize this behavior, would possibly even try hard to like prove themselves. So there's a sense of that your person thought, for whatever reason, and you might have had a discussion about the way that you grew up, or again about a parent that wasn't really supportive. Like again, something made this person perceive that you weren't going to be secure in yourself. And then what happened is that they came at you like you weren't going to be secure in yourself. And what you said was, no, I am secure in myself. I recognize exactly what you're doing. And that triggered this person. Because again, I feel like they were embarrassed, right? They were embarrassed because you called them out on it. Like they didn't think that you would recognize what they did. And they're actually still embarrassed by it. Now I want to look at the hidden truths. You and I were too young. I don't really feel like you guys were too young. I feel like they were insecure. I feel like they were insecure and they wouldn't give the time. So, I mean, I feel like this person does think that they're young at heart, even if they are old. Almost like they could be in their 50s, they would still feel like they're young. You know what I mean? Young enough to run around and not have to settle down. I want you again, but that passion is still there, right? It's again, when we have a soulmate, what brings us to that person a lot of times is that we are really attracted to that person. We know that there would be good chemistry with that person. There's an energy of feeling familiar. Um, and I feel like your person has never really had a spiritual connection like this before. So, and they tend to be very physical, like focus a lot on the physical connection of a relationship. That's what they go for. So I do feel like with the more spiritual connection, they're going to want it more because there's a sense of, well, you feel like home. It's almost like we're supposed to be together. I know that we're supposed to be together, almost like you're a property of theirs. So like it's like almost like animalistic, and that's what I feel like when a person has a real like block in their root chakra, and they're coming from a place of survival. This person is very primal, and so almost like if they're a guy, they're very extremely old fashioned and conservative, right? Like believes that everyone needs to like play a part. And so, but the connection obviously is chemistry and them finding you attractive. And I wonder if you're happy without me. Yeah, because they, it's like now they've been, what always brings a person back is the attraction, but they are obviously thinking about you and being like, well, I see what I did. I see like how much time has passed, and I really thought that you were going to came and come to me, and you're not doing that. And so, like you said, they have a lot of anxiety and worry because they obviously know that you might be getting something, you're getting more from anything more than them because they haven't given anything. So there's a sense that they feel bad about how they handle things. I feel like this person threw a temper tantrum, like because you set boundaries. And then what happened is they were like, oh, like you're having a little temper tantrum, like because you're like not getting your way. So I'm gonna ghost you. And when you calm back down, I'll come back. And this person tried to come back like a few times. And I feel like every time they came back, they wouldn't do a big gesture, only like a little dip their toe in the water, meaning like something on Facebook, maybe like text, like a vague message, again, very protecting their heart completely, not giving off like one way or the other why they're reaching out, but here it is, they think that they're doing so much. Like I said, this person like sees now that they really didn't do anything, and they still have feelings, like I said, but they don't know how to that they can recover. How are they going to recover from this? I wish I could share my good news with you. This person is making changes in their life. I just feel like they don't know how they can approach it because like I said, instead of fixing it, by saying, oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't realize like I was, disrespecting you or clarifying what they were saying. Again, they always wanted you to feel less than. They felt like you were a little too big for your britches, like because you were confident. And for whatever reason, that triggered them because I feel like they're not confident. Again, like I said, anxiety because of being like what you're telling me like is like an attack, like you're criticizing me instead of like what you were saying to this person is you are hurting my feelings. All this person is saying is hearing is I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I need to change. So what happens is they get self-righteous and they were like, okay, well, I'm going to like back up and I'm not going to give you anything. They wanted to instill doubt with inside of you. But really, they were just trying to create an illusion in hopes that you would like give more, that you would kind of fight for your position so that you would not question them, not ask them to change so that they can remain the same. Which is very narcissistic. So what happened is like you wound up like really not trusting them which you were like, that's when you backed away. But this person was so in their ego, they didn't even notice that you backed away. They were like stuck in the game, stuck in their ego, and that's what happened in the beginning. That's why time had lapsed, because they were like, well, I'm going to come down when you cool down. I'm going to come back when you cool down. And that may be like a week, that may be 2 weeks. I felt like sometimes it was like a few weeks, and then other times it was like a few months. So they played this game a few times with you. And I feel like when they reached out to you, you never said, don't talk to me, don't do this. But it was like you said what you had to say. And then if they reached out and they said hi, you just gave them like hi. You didn't give them anything back. So they couldn't really read you to see how they could approach you. They just knew that they couldn't approach you the same way that they did approach you without completely damaging the connection. And there's a part of this person that still likes you. So again, they really regret, because what they've tried to instill in you, which is the fear, is now what they have. They have the fear because they were being, again, narcissistic. Now, because you're not doing anything, it's like this person is, again, suffering from anxiety, and now they're getting impatient because they're like, you know, because they know that they were really being stubborn, right? But they realize also that most likely they damaged the relationship, and there's a sinking feeling of feeling hopeless. So, like you said, I mean, they're stuck in their head about everything. Um, I want to look and see what some of the triggers were. Avoidance. Again, this is what they did. It's like, I don't really want to talk to you about how you feel. I don't want to be made to feel bad. I don't want to talk about the relationship, because I'm just so sure that this relationship's going to work out, because I can tell you really like me, because I feel like, again, you're someone that has been traumatized and you don't expect much. Like, you settle for little. I feel like they perceived you as being humble. They perceived you as being, like, again, um somebody that has gone through trauma. And so you wouldn't settle. And it could be as something as simple as, you've gone through a lot of bad relationships. I know, because you shared that with me. So you wouldn't notice whether or not I was giving you a lot or little, which is, again, very narcissistic. And so they didn't want to, talk about, what they did. They wanted to stay in that place. And that is really what cost them. It's like, again, yeah, argument, because they're like, I don't want to deal with an argument because I know I'm going to get an argument because I know what I did was wrong. I also get extremely irritated. Again, irritated, and starts an argument, like if things aren't suit. So what they also know about themselves is, if you trigger them, that they're going to get into an argument and take it like 10 steps further. So unless you fix it, unless you smooth it out. And, they know that you weren't going to do that, because, like, why would you? You weren't not being treated well. It's, again, and the mask, it's almost like this person wanted to, like, have this persona of being like, I'm like tough person. Like I'm not going to cave. I don't give in. Like, it's my way or the highway. And I feel like they had that attitude, and I feel like you were like, okay, the highway is like 2 blocks down, and like past the highway, and they didn't expect that. They expected you to fight for a position. And I feel like you got tired of the mask. You're like, you don't let me in. You don't let me get close to you. You don't have a conversation. You avoid difficult conversations. It's like, I don't even really know who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a shell of a person, a persona, not even a real person. It's, again, and in order to do it, you just like gaslight. We just go around and around and around and around in circles. You pretend that it's me when I know that it's not me. So there was a sense that you were like, I can't, because all you do is lie. It's like, all you do is lie. And I find you incredibly attractive, though. So it's like, I do feel like there's a lot of passion here, too. So it's again almost like you have two people that are attracted to each other, but someone that is so wounded up that they won't they anything that you say to them, they're hearing it through like a distorted filter. So and really they weren't treating you well, and just because you're like trying to set a boundary of like, please respect me, like they twisted it around almost like, how dare you, like you're overreacting, and real narcissistic uh behavior. I miss you, they miss you. Like I said, I feel like they find you incredibly attractive. I feel like you find them attractive, but they miss you. And on some level, believe it or not, I feel like sometimes you miss them too, because of the energy that feels like home. That spiritual connection is why. But it's like the secrets and the deception. It's again that you feel like you can't trust this person. And it's because, again, you don't know who you're dealing with. They come from a facade, they don't let you get close. But they do have a lot of passion for you. They do have it. I just feel like this is the way that they learned how to navigate a relationship. Avoidance is the worst. I daydream about you. Sometimes it's sexual, other times I visualize our future together. The thing is, I feel like you have a stronger connection in the 5D than you do in the 3D life, because this person is a spiritual soulmate that feels like home. There is a lot of passion, there's a lot of chemistry. All through this reading, it says one thing that's consistent: I find you incredibly attractive. Like, again, I want you. Again, we see it all through the reading. I daydream about you. Sometimes it's sexual. So this person is fantasizing about you, but they're not, like, they had the opportunity to actually be in a relationship with you, but they wouldn't be in a relationship with you. So there's almost like a sense that this person feels more comfortable to have a relationship in fantasy world in the 5D than actually in the 3D. And the issue with that is that they feel, because they feel inadequate, they don't feel like they can really have one. They it's like they really want to have it, but they don't trust themselves. So they feel safer to, like, again, have it more, like you said, in that daydream land. Again, we are coming into union. I feel like sometimes they like lie to themselves too, because they're like, I can still feel you. So I feel like you're going to come back. I feel like we're going to come back. Like it's going to work out. But they haven't done anything. I need you to trust me and believe I am working towards union with you. I feel like this person thinks about it. There are messages being exchanged through music and movies. Listen carefully. Again, you're always on this person's mind. They're obsessive because I feel like you haven't come back to them. So they're becoming really, really impatient. They have a lot of anxiety. They're thinking about you. They're thinking about how they treated you. My ego is fragile to criticism and rejection. I've created walls to protect myself. So it's, again, this person has been looking at like their behavior, like they said, like one little thing that you say, they get triggered and twist the whole thing around and made a mountain out of a molehill, to the point that it wasn't that big of a deal what you said, but their reaction to it, which is normally what they like to do. They like to do that to other people, like where they'll do something and the person will react and they'll say, look at the big reaction that you're giving me, when really, like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, again, it's very narcissistic energy. When this time it's like, you're like, it wasn't that big of a deal, but I walked away from you because it wasn't that big of a deal. You made it into a big deal because everything has to be drama with you. Everything has to be, your ego gets triggered over everything. And so, like, where you need control, and it's because, like I said, they have a lot of, like, their ego is fragile because of who they grew up around. And I feel like whoever raised them, like, was very critical. And then this person, like I said, I brought that into every single relationship. And I'm not just talking about sexual relationship, intimate relationships. I'm talking about every type of relationship. So this person doesn't really even have that many friends. So they are lonely. This is, they don't trust themselves. They get hurt, which is why they feel more comfortable having a relationship in the 5D than and then rather than in the 3D. Why they'd rather it be in fantasy world, because they can't screw it up. And also they don't have to surrender their ego and they could be who they want to be in their mind. They can't really be who they want to be in person because we see how they are in person. They want to, like, play this very old fashioned role of, again, almost like if they're the man, they want to be the man. They don't want, like, their woman to work. They don't want their women to go out. They want their women to dress a certain way. They want, they want to be completely in control and be that dominant figure, where it's, again, it's fantasy. It's not feasible because relationships aren't that way. Relationships are all about building trust. It's about having experiences together so that you can, again, grow intimacy. This person has major intimacy problems. That's why they feel more comfortable in the daydream land. Again, it amazes me when we say the same thing at the same time, we finish each other's sentences. So this person sees so many synchronicities with you. I feel like, believe me, if this was not a spiritual connection, this person would have walked away by now. I feel like they don't form emotional connections. And so this is not just, oh, I'm very attracted to you. There's actually, like, I feel comfortable with you. It amazes me that we can actually think the same way, that we actually have a lot, as different as we have a lot in common. So again, it's trust, because friendship is a form of intimacy. So this person doesn't have that. Like you said, they don't really have friends. And so the odd thing is, I feel like as much as they're attracted to you, I also feel like they're like, I could have you in my life. I could see myself with you. I could see myself with you, not just like sexually, but living with you. And the reason why is because we have good time together. It's like I can be myself. It's like where I don't think that this person liked who they were, so they never really tried to be themselves. Our energy is stagnant, see, because no one's doing anything. So it's triggering sometimes. And so triggers sometimes happen to break the stagnancy and help the energy flow again. So this person, like you said, like, is almost like, I don't care what happens, like, but we have not moved. And I know that I should have came back. I was waiting for you to come back. I thought for sure you would come back. Because it really wasn't a big deal, but I made a big deal out of what shouldn't have been a big deal. And now you're not doing anything. So I have major anxiety and I don't know what to do about it. So I would almost rather, like, come in and, like, trigger you, say something, do something to get a trigger so that I knew one way or the other, like, what's going on. Like where really this person, all they need to do is like pick up the phone. All they really need to do is reach out. But again, there's a sense that they're holding back. They're like, I really have strong feelings for you because there's so much chemistry and passion, and you feel like home, and I can see a friendship. However, I didn't treat you well, and I don't want to be the one that comes back and apologizes. I don't want to be the one that seems vulnerable, but you're not doing anything. And I feel like you're not gonna. Because again, I'm triggered and old patterns have surfaced and it hurts. So it's again, this person knows that they have to do something because the trigger is that you're not going to do anything, that you're going to abandon them, that you're going to leave, that this person isn't good enough, that the whole point of they don't have good relationships. It's again, they know this about themselves. Well, this relationship could have been good. This relationship, there's chemistry, there's friendship, there's all the ingredients, and they fucked this relationship up by their pride and their ego. Because again, and really the wounds that they never healed by not being able to just have a conversation, by being triggered by your request. Your request made them feel inadequate, made them feel bad. And that's really what needs to be healed, them feeling bad, because they constantly be in avoidance with you because anything that you say to this person is going to trigger them. They're always going to hear it through that filter. And so there's a sense that they're hurt because it's like they know that if the relationship doesn't work out, it's because of them. It's because they kind of took it to the extreme. They didn't have to play all these games, that they could have came back. And so now they're actually like feel sad because it's like you said, they feel the chemistry, they see the friendship, they see how they contributed to it, but there's a sense of, again, well, why can't you just come back and apologize? Which makes no sense. And it's like, or why can't you just come back and pretend that nothing happened? It's like I've tried to reach out a few times, but again, you're like, you're not just going to reach out to me without acknowledging what you did. You want change behavior from this person. I miss you. Let's both stop running away. So this person perceives like you're running away. And maybe in a sense you are, because you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. And what I'm asking you to do is so little. But it's like I feel like you're not really running away. I feel like you're like, I already stated my case. You refuse to do it. And in the fact that you refuse to do it, you're telling me that you won't have changed behavior. I just believe that this person like is misinterpreting it. I don't believe that they're that smart when it comes to this. I feel like they get extremely overstimulated because they have feelings. And on some level, they don't believe that they could be loved because they wouldn't have created all this, wouldn't have gotten in their way and sabotaged the connection to the point that they have. And again, they don't have good relationships, which tells me that there's intimacy issues, trust issues, but trust happens, we acquire that from learning how to trust ourselves, from listening to our intuition. This person, when they're around you, there is a sense that they're tapped into their intuition. They don't really feel comfortable in that energy because they feel more vulnerable. They like to be in the more analytical and strategizing. That's part of their brain they would rather be in. But with you, they feel like they can let their guard down. They can be more like a child. That's why you feel like home. That's why, again, it's a spiritual connection. Again, cheating. So there was a sense of in the beginning that this person didn't really want to settle down. There was a sense that you didn't really know whether they were cheating or not. You just knew that they weren't giving you anything, that they were, again, anything that you said, they made it extra difficult. So there was a sense of, why are you making it so difficult? Is it because you're cheating? I don't really believe that they were cheating per se. I believe that they were talking to a lot of different people and not really giving anyone anything. But having those people kind of think that they were going to be with them. So they would get attention and give attention, more attention than what you were getting. But I feel like it was like superficial, like sending pictures back and forth, like real, like again, uh fantasy, stupid stuff, not like it, like people that were feeding their ego and maybe them feeding whoever's ego, but it wasn't like they were going to ever meet. They weren't going to ever get together and and do anything. There was no future plans with these people, so it's not like they were people of importance. So but you in a way was like, they must be cheating because they're not giving me time, and I know that they care about me. So where who they must care about someone else more. And I don't really feel that. I feel like they just had intimacy issues and weren't going to get close to you. They wanted you to get close to them. They maneuvered they maneuvered everything that way. But the crazy thing is that they wound up like forming a lot of like strong relationship, like feeling a lot of strong feelings for you, like wanting to be in a relationship is what I'm trying to say. I have a tickle in my throat. All right. So again, all because again, I never got an apology. And that's what I said before. It's like there's all it happened because you never got an apology. And they know it. They're saying that too. I never gave the apology. And that's why. And there was a sense that it's almost like they feel weaker if they apologize. They didn't want to seem vulnerable by apologizing. But because they did this, it's like they created a mountain out of a molehill and they're only going to have to come back and apologize anyway. But now there's almost a sense of that you wouldn't even take them back. And that's where this person actually is afraid because they're like, because of all of this, not because of what they originally did, but because of how they reacted to like getting triggered to what you said. It was like, you said whatever you said, so I'm going to punish you. And you weren't having that. And then on top of it, they didn't never came back and apologized. Yeah, so this person again, anxiety. I wanted to see more, like that just them trying to figure out the relationship is like, I don't know how to deal with this. And they do know how to deal with it. They have to, surrender their ego. They have to come back and apologize. They know that on some level, but it's like they're holding back and they're holding back at this point because they're like, I know you should have gotten the apology a long time ago. It's consuming them. It's consuming them. It's like that's all that they're thinking about. It's like because it's like so much time has gone by, and the thing is, you are not reacting, you are not responding. I feel like whatever they did, they've done all their little tricks, but their little tricks are just that little. So there's a sense that I feel like you know exactly what they want, Virgo, but you're like, I'm not going to give you anything until you apologize and you state to me exactly what you want. And this person knows that they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that, and they're not going to do it because they're afraid to do that. There's a sense of, I don't want to grow up. I like things this way. I like you. I'm passionate about you. I want you, but I don't want to change. And so the thing is, it's almost like that, like the sadness, like there was sadness with you, but I don't really feel like you're sad anymore. I feel like now this person's sad. It's like in the beginning you were sad, and there was a sense that they felt that you were sad, but they thought that you were gonna like crumble or feel so bad that you would come back to them. Maybe that's what they're used to. I don't know. But now this person's sad, and they're sad because they've already pretty much like come to this realization that you're not going to come back to them, like, and that they have to change, and that they really don't want to do the changing. Again, the only obstacles is this person's ego. It's again but they believe that it's a twin flame journey. And if this person comes back and steps it up, then it is a twin flame journey, because this person, like, I believe, is a karmic. They don't want to walk away. That's the thing. There's intense chemistry. This person can't stop thinking about you. They're fighting themselves right now because they're used to not, having to change. However, they've never had a connection like this before. So, like I said, if they step it up in this lifetime, they could be a twin flame journey. And that's the thing. It's like right now, what we see is them trying to manipulate it every which way but loose to get what they want, but not really, like, being like open and honest and transparent. And that's the thing. It's like what you're looking for at this point with this person is transparency, real transparency, and like some vulnerability, and they know it, and that terrifies them. And it's almost like they're not doing it to be like, I don't want to give it to you anymore. They're doing it because they're terrified to do it. They don't really know how to be in a relationship like that. I don't believe that they've ever grown up. You know, I believe that they've always had like karmic people on the side, but not nobody that ever, like, no one like this, not a connection like this. There is something I'm hiding from you, and I feel like this person like has people on the side. I feel like they have addictions. I feel like this person, what they're hiding is they don't really know who they are. They have a lot of shadows. If this is a twin flame journey, which they think that it is because they can't walk away, and there's a lot of passion and chemistry, but if they don't step it up, they remain the karmic. And if they, again, are in this karmic energy, it's because they have attachments. And those attachments are either other people, addictions, both, many times both. I feel like, again, this is a collective reading. So for some of you, it's both. For others of you, it's just people, but no one of any importance. It's the people that are going to feed their ego, people that are going to make them be able to be cocky and confident when going out and meeting new people that they could be, again, have some sort of interest in, because they know that they have like fallback people that they don't really care about, but people that will continue to fan and feed their ego. So what they're hiding from you is the fact that they're not that confident, they don't know who they are, and they're still really insecure. There is someone keeping me from you. That's a karmic. That's a karmic. And I feel like for some, you're connected to someone that has children, with someone that doesn't really want to be with them, but still wants their resources, still wants to be taken care of. Others, it's just karmic that they keep on the side, that makes them feel responsible, that guilts them, that, that there is a really unhealthy attachment where the person doesn't feel like confident about themselves. So they tend to be the martyr, be always on a rescue for people that are not really on a very high vibration, but it makes them feel good. And in return, those people do for your person. Like, so it's almost like a weird type of relationship, but it's, again, not one based on love. That this person wants to be with this person, but almost like, I don't care if I waste your time. You can be here and do my laundry, and you can, clean my house and cook dinner. And yeah, maybe like we'll watch a movie and chill for like a half an hour, and then I'll like throw you out and do whatever. It's, again, that person like puts up with everything, gets breadcrumbs, but it makes your person like have a bigger ego and more confident. So then they come across to you like they don't need to be as vulnerable. And that's exactly, they would have to let go of that and really like be vulnerable to apologize. let you in. As long as they have these attachments, they don't really feel like they need to change. And they get triggered at the fact of having to change. Even though they feel like it's a twin flame journey because there's a lot of passion. Well, past life karmic mates, again, can feel a lot like twin flame journey. The only difference with the twin flame journey is that the twin flames are both ready to do the work. Where what I see here is that your person is not ready to do the work. They don't want to do the work. They're avoiding to do the work. They're like, there's someone keeping me from you. No one keeps anyone from anyone. You have to get rid of people that are not supposed to be in your life. And there's something I'm hiding from you. Well, it's again, it's your whole persona. It's like you don't know who you're really dealing with. It's like, so is this person ever gonna let you get close, or are they just trying to keep it in this again passion phase, in this again fantasy phase, which is why I don't really want to apologize either, because I'm trying to play a role in my mind, and that helps this person create intimacy, but the intimacy is based on a lie then emotionally unavailable. And that's what I feel like. It's again, it's like so they're focused all on the passion. So they're gonna come across as if you are my person, you're my person. And there's a part of them that might even feel like you're their person because they never had such a strong connection. But because they haven't invested and because they have attachments, they haven't given you anything, it's they haven't evolved. Their feelings for you have grown, but again, that's because passion has grown. They don't want to be around those people that are around them. Those people are karmic to them, meaning your person's like they can be around me and do whatever they want for me, but I'm never gonna do anything for them. I'm never gonna give equal reciprocity to them, and I'm not. That means I'm not gonna respect them, and they can be my slaves and they can like fan my ego, and I'll throw breadcrumbs at them, and it's like whatever I give them they'll be appreciative to, but that makes me feel good about myself. The reason why is because this person is emotionally unavailable. They're emotionally unavailable because of their own wounds that they haven't healed yet, so they're still being dictated by their ego, but thinking that again because their emotions keep growing and they become more obsessive, that you must be that person. Again, but that's again they would be like, just first of all, if you got invested with this person, they would create trouble in your life. That's first of all, because we see that they do that by having other people attached to them. It creates problems. So there would be either trouble from your person, trouble from the people that are connected to them. And there's a sense that more or less they would be bringing you a lot of like just unnecessary drama. And on some level, this person enjoys that because they're not happy in their life. So it's all this drama, and then they're like, oh, look, everyone's fighting over me, and all this, when really it's like you have an attachment, and then you've kind of tricked someone else into perceiving that you want a relationship because you have a lot of passion. Because again, you don't really want to be with people that you're able to shit all over. So those karmic people you don't want to be with because they're always available. They don't bring anything to the table. If they were attractive at one time, now you've gotten to know them to the point that they're not attractive anymore. So they don't want those people. It's like, however, someone that actually stands up to them, they do. But because this person isn't healed, there's a sense that, um, like I said, they want what they want. They'll lead and think that it's like a real soul's connection, but they haven't done the work. Burned. And it's like there's a sense that if you're going to be with them, that they're going to burn you. It's because they've been burnt before, and there's a sense that They don't really want to have that type of relationship, is what I'm feeling. They don't really want to do the work. They in their mind, like I said, I feel like they think that they've done the work because their feelings have grown, but it's like they've just become more obsessive. They just haven't done the work. They're like, oh, I'm finally clear. I really do like you, so you're the one. But yeah, look at all those skeletons that you have in the closet. Look at like how you've been conducting yourself. Like you won't even apologize. You're avoidant. And now you all of a sudden you're gonna come back and be like, you're my twin flame, you're the love of my life. Because at one time there was this connection, but I don't know whether you're gonna feel as if you have a connection for this person anymore. Thunderstorm, yeah, like there's trouble. Look at this, like a warning. So, like, this is a sense of this person wants power. Like, they would come back into your life to be with you, but they would, again, it would be not good. They would create trouble in your life. A lot of conflict, a lot of conflict. Yeah, because it's like, and the thing is, I feel like you are on the path right now where like things are happening for you. It's like, and this is what they see. Look at this prosperity, jackpot, success. So I feel like this person senses that you're moving away from them, that you're not going to be around them. And I also feel like is a karmic test that if you're with this person, they could actually jeopardize you from obtaining your prosperity. And maybe because they would create so much drama in your life and be so consuming in your life because they're not healed, haven't done the work, that they would take you away from whatever you're doing for yourself, that you would miss an opportunity, or they would emotionally like do something like where that would affect you, right? Because I feel like this person likes to play games emotionally, like take their emotion, like take their nurturing and their love away from you, right? They turn their feelings on and off. And so like I just feel like that wouldn't be good because of that. Like there are certain things happening, and this person doesn't really want those things to happen for you because they know that, they haven't really apologized. They still want you in their life. They don't want you to like move away from them, but they don't want to apologize. So it would be almost like better if you didn't do well. And so I feel like they can see that things are going to happen for you, that things are happening for you. If you might not, but they do. And so um, I feel like they would just be around you all the time, be around you all the time, emotionally try and like just, they'd be so nervous and have anxiety that you don't want to be with them too, from the way that they treated you, that I feel like that they would also try to overcompensate. This person has a second chakra imbalance where they either don't give anything or they give too much. And so it's again, and with their moods, you can see how some days they would give a lot and other days they would get mad and their emotions would completely dictate. And that would trip you up to the point that you wouldn't be able to focus on what you were doing. And like you said, things are happening for you. This person sees it, but it's again, there's a sense of like they want they want to they want to like declare, right? They want a declaration. So there's almost like they want to like reclaim like this connection, but say it's under like different way. You know what I mean? Almost like a new declaration, and that declaration is a promise. The problem is that I feel like this person means it, but I don't think that they're capable. And because they haven't done the work. So what I see is that there's a sense of them, seeing that, like things are happening for you. Then they know that they didn't treat you well, and they obviously feel like you're a good catch. If they like you, why wouldn't other people like you? So things are happening, your career will eventually take you away from them. So they want to come back in, and they want to, like, again, do a whole new set of rules. Like, and those rules would be like of give and take reciprocity, that they would really be, this different person. But like I said, I just don't feel like they've done the healing work. So a lot is, it's not a lie. They're being led by passion, but they have wounds. That's nothing but the Joker card, which I feel like that's a chameleon card, and this is universe. So this person, like, is going through an awakening. It's like, and they because you're not coming back, and because they really want this, it's like, do I feel like they'd be 100% healed? No. However, I do feel like them going through an awakening and getting, like, again, a higher perspective of this relationship. Like, it means something to them. Like, there's actually like a force creative pulling to them. Again, this is a law of one. So, and the law of one is of God, that we're all connected. And so there's a sense that this person, like, is in so much anxiety over the fact of you moving forward and you not coming back, is actually pushing them into having like an awakening and trying to really figure out what it is that they want, which is crazy. And so again, this person is definitely, they need to watch their physical health, but there's also, again, a sense of learning how to go with the flow of life, seeing, like, again, what works for them. So I kind of feel like this relationship is making them heal. This is another Joker card. Um, Yeah, going within. This person is going within. They're going, like, they're doing a lot of self-reflection. Like I said, I feel like this relationship, um, they may push them into having so much anxiety, and it really, like, you showed them that, hey, you're not all that. Like, your games aren't going to work on me. And them holding back for so long, and then seeing that how they got triggered and how they reacted and how they thought you were toxic. They're now seeing that they're toxic. And really, it pushed them into an awakening that's making them do self-reflection, which is all about them coming back to, again, that higher perspective, to that God part of self, because source is that, right? Source is that. And so they feel like this connection is, like, again, this twin flame relationship or this soul relationship. They might not know the terminology, but they know that this is an important relationship, one that they've never had, one that's divine, because they've tried to walk away from it. And if anything, it's like created so much growth within this person, because they've had to look at, like, how they reacted and how they made a mountain out of a molehill, and why would you hold back for as long as you did, and because you were just waiting because of your ego. This person feels so stupid and doesn't know what to do. And it's like really pushed them into, like, self-reflection, where I don't feel like this person ever looked at themselves before. And I wouldn't believe that they would do this unless the cards actually came out like this, because I'm almost like, I kept saying they haven't done any work, they haven't done any work, they haven't done any work, they haven't done any work. Now guess what? I see that they're starting to do work. Again, celebration ceremony. It's, again, this person, like what, like graduation. So it's almost like I see like in this terminology, almost like the graduation for me is almost like this person evolves and sees what they did, sees how they contributed to the undesirable life experiences like they have that have happened within this connection, that you really didn't do anything, you really didn't say anything, you just were saying it, you can't disrespect me. And this person, like again, heard everything through the distorted lens of what people have said to them in the past, how they truly feel about themselves because of what people have said in the past. So, like I said, I feel like they have graduated. I feel like there's a sense of them wanting to celebrate, to go out, and they might not say, "Hey, I learned so much from you. I want to celebrate." But I feel like they want to go out, they want to enjoy life. They want to like create intimacy with you. There's a sense of that, right? Celebration, ceremony, even though it's like party, like go out and have fun is what I take from that, almost because they again graduated. And so this is not graduated from school, but graduated spiritually. So they're actually seeing what they did and wanting to rectify it, which is what healing is all about. Soulmates, lovers, because it's again, there's a sense like this person wants that. It's again back to this lovers, a union, courtship. They want to date, they're attracted, seduce, again, long-term potential because you have the it factor. It's like, so they want to go out and they want to create that because they actually see who you are. So I feel like it's a slow, like a slow process because when we go through an awakening, so this it could have happened over a process of like a year, 2 years, 3 years. Like I said, like it wasn't like a slow process. This person fought. This was a slow process, rather. This person fought the whole evolution process. So we see, why did you connect this person? Like, why, what are you a why are you a magnet to this person? I can talk. No, it's getting late. Okay, protection. So these are the inner child parts. This person, I feel like, did not make you feel protected, right? I feel like they played a lot of games in the beginning, and you really had to be reliant on your own discernment, and you were. So when you reparent through your inner child wounds, and this one, you would have to be your own protection from this person. Like, and you did, you laid boundaries down. You're like, no, I don't like the way that you're treating me. But this person, again, did not make you feel safe by the way that they were treating you. I mean, someone that cares about you is supposed to like nurture you and look out for you. It's again to dance. You had to go with the flow. This is a green card in my backdrop. There's a thing, but it's a little hula dancer and it says dance. So it's almost like you had to be able to go with the flow, find your own rhythm through the storm, right? That's what it's about. We can't change the environment. We have to again change ourselves, and I feel like that's what you did. You didn't expect this person to be different. You didn't expect them to bring you like happiness or mold to your way. You did that for yourself. And I feel like that's what allowed this person to find their process and allowed them to really think and do the self-reflection without feeling like, do you get it? Did you see what you did? Like it was no pressure. Like it was almost like you walked away from this person, they knew it because they waited for you to contact them. They were like, they're not contacting me. That pushed this person into self-reflection because they had so much anxiety and went through a dark night of the soul, which I don't believe that they ever had before, but they're like, you're my person. They're sure of it. Like I said, it came up as twin flame. I was like, I'm not so sure. Well, then once I seen them actually doing the work, well, now I'm like, maybe they are. And then they're like, I am. I am. I want the long term. I want you have the it factor. This is again what I want. And I was like, okay. And again, you were neglected. This person brought all those wounds up because they didn't give. But what I feel like is you gave to yourself. And when you give to yourself, like I said, you're able to go with the flow of whatever anyone does. And that, but in this case, this person had feelings all along. They just, because they have feelings and you said what you said, it was filtered through like this lens of criticism that they already had within inside of themselves because you were like trying to set boundaries. And so, like you said, they shouldn't have handled it like that. They got all in their ego and made a mountain out of a molehill and pretty much, sabotaged the relationship until they got some sense into themselves. But they had to scare the shit out of themselves in order to do that. And so they played chicken for a long time. They know a lot of time passed. And what happened is what they learned too, when you think about it, is that on some level, they did the deep dive because they've been neglected, not being allowed to express who you are is that also. And so they had to learn how to go with the flow of this relationship, right? And find their rhythm, find their dance. And because again, they don't feel safe in relationships. But once they do that, then they can actually create support. And this is what they've realized. They're like, well, I don't know how it's going to work out, but now I know I have to try. So this person's working their way back. But it, like I said, it was after a lot of resistance. Elevation. So it's again, we have spirit. I free myself from fear and trust the universe. I direct my thoughts to the beauty inside and around me. I use my spiritual strength, the knowledge to create light, and I rise above all doubt. So this person, I feel like they definitely elevated. We saw them elevate. In the beginning, there was a lot of like passion, and it just again from a lower energy again of passion and I find you attractive, I want to be with you, into actually I can see myself with you. It's like I don't want to hold back anymore. It's like and that's again the surrendering of the ego, and that is to elevate. And I feel like for those of you that believe that this person is your twin flame, and listen, if they've done the work and there really is that much chemistry to get this person to change, then I kind of feel like that you are a twin flame because there's always a runner and a chaser, right? Twin flame does not mean that you're getting a perfect person. It means that you're getting a person that has wounds, but wants to become the best version of themselves. So spirit has brought their twin flame into life, into your life, right? In order to help you heal by making you change. This change is not usually like voluntarily, like, yeah, let me change everything about myself. No, this change usually comes with a lot of triggers and resistance, which is what we saw here. So this kind of does look like a twin flame journey. And by you, again, letting this person have their process and not fighting them, not fighting for your position, letting them have their process, letting them say, I'm not going to deal with you, you not being there, and then letting them do the deep dive and self-reflection and not standing there and watching them do that either, allowed them to feel safe to be themselves, which is what they said to begin with. It's like, when I'm with you, I feel like it amazes me that we can share each other's thoughts, we share each other's, we finish each other's sentences sometimes. Like I can see, or if we don't do that, then I see there's so many different things that like remind me of like that I see myself in you. I can identify with you. I can identify with your feelings. I can identify with your life experiences. And I feel so comfortable around you. So there was a sense of really wanting it and also feeling so comfortable like home. But again, the resistance due to what has happened in the end for them to only wind up to surrendering, right? And courage. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am light and I remain light. I trust in God and stand tall before the test of light. I grow and become wiser through every challenge. I am being of a new life. So there's a sense of both of you needing courage to be in this connection because it's not going to be an easy connection, right? I mean, this person, if they are a soulmate twin flame, we know that it's the hardest relationship. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of chemistry, which makes you want to stick around to actually deal with those triggers, right? Otherwise, we'd be like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it. It's too much work. What makes us stick around and change and find a way is that we can't walk away. And that's what we saw here. Your person wanted to walk away. We're like, who are you? They were in their trigger. Who are you to tell me I need to change? Who are you to tell me that you don't like the way I'm treating you? It's like, get off your high horse. What do you want me to do? And then to them actually being like, wow, I'm an asshole. I really I didn't act well. I don't know. I thought that it was gonna blow over. Then maybe it's going to blow over. I'll hold back. You'll come back to me to full blown anxiety. I have to change. That's when again, you know that it's the divine because this person has no control, but it's for the sense of them changing. Because even if you weren't going to be in this person's life, whether you are going to be in this person's life or you're not going to be in this person's life, either way, they will never go back to the same way that they were before. Because chances are, if they pull that shit again, the next person that they like will walk away from them. I don't think they ever had that happen. And so, because it did happen and you have affected this person so much, I mean, listen, they went through a whole dark night of the soul because of the way that, you didn't respond the way that they expected you to, and then they obviously did not respond the way that they thought that they were going to, where they thought I really totally have feelings and I completely fucked up this relationship and I can no longer hold back. So we see their whole process, but it does take courage because it's a hard relationship, but it's worth it because there's a lot of passion. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know whether you resonated. I'll talk to you soon.